The world can be a cruel and senseless place. It often feels like a stage where the most unexpected and tragic events unfold, leaving us to grapple with the aftermath. In the quiet corners of our cities, where the streetlights flicker and the shadows grow long, danger can be an unseen presence lurking just out of sight. Evil lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike when we least expect it. It hides in the places we consider safe, in the moments we feel secure. The darkness is not just a physical absence of light, but a metaphor for the unknown threats that can shatter our sense of safety. Two cases, years apart, embody this unsettling truth. Missy Bevers and Elizabeth Barraza, two women who lived in different parts of the country, found their lives tragically intertwined by the cruel hand of fate. Their stories are a stark reminder that no one is truly safe from the reach of malevolence. They are grim reminders that darkness can touch even the most ordinary lives. In the quiet moments of their daily routines, they were met with unimaginable violence. The serenity of their lives was shattered, leaving behind a void that echoes with unanswered questions and unfulfilled dreams. Missy Bevers and Elizabeth Barraza, two women with seemingly nothing in common, became tragically linked by violence. Missy, a fitness instructor, and Elizabeth, a dedicated wife and Star Wars enthusiast, were both beloved by their communities. Their lives, though different in many ways, were both cut short by acts of senseless brutality. Their unsolved murders leave behind a chilling echo, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life. The places where they were attacked now stand as silent witnesses to the horrors that unfolded. These locations, once filled with life and activity, are now marked by the shadows of their tragic ends. These cases, though separated by time and distance, share a chilling resemblance. Both women were attacked in the early hours of the morning, a time when the world is still and unsuspecting. The eerie similarities between their cases have left investigators puzzled and the public deeply unsettled. Both women were attacked in the most vulnerable of moments. Missy was preparing for an early morning fitness class, while Elizabeth was setting up for a garage sale. These were moments of routine, of normalcy that were violently disrupted. The suddenness of their attacks adds to the horror, highlighting how quickly life can change. Both cases present baffling questions that continue to haunt investigators and the public alike. Who could commit such heinous acts? What motives could drive someone to such violence? The lack of answers only deepens the mystery, leaving a trail of speculation and fear. The families of Missy Bevers and Elizabeth Barraza are left to grapple with the agonizing pain of unanswered questions. They hold vigils, light candles, and cling to the memories of their loved ones. Their grief is a constant companion, a reminder of the lives that were stolen from them. They cling to the hope that someday justice will prevail. In the face of darkness, they find strength in their love and memories. They believe that the truth will come to light, and that those responsible will be held accountable. Until then, they continue to seek answers, driven by the enduring hope that justice will be served. The morning of April 18, 2016, dawned like any other in Midlothian, Texas. The small town was still shrouded in the quiet calm of pre-dawn, with empty streets and a dark sky hinting at the day to come. It was a typical start to what should have been an ordinary day. Missy Bevers, a beloved wife, mother, and fitness instructor, was up early, preparing to lead her fitness class at Creekside Church. She was a pillar of her community, known for her dedication to health and fitness, and her classes were a beacon of motivation for many. It was a routine she knew well, a routine that promised health and community. Her classes were more than just workouts. They were gatherings of friends and neighbors, all striving for better health and camaraderie. The church hall would soon be filled with the sounds of encouragement and the rhythm of exercise, but fate had other plans. As the dark clouds gathered ominously in the sky, an unsettling sense of foreboding seemed to hang in the air. Time ticked away, each second bringing an unknown danger closer. Surveillance footage later revealed a shadowy figure, clad head to toe in what appeared to be tactical gear, roaming the halls of the church in the hours before Missy's arrival. The figure moved with purpose, their presence a stark contrast to the sanctity of the place. The figure, whose gait was strangely uneven, seemed to be familiar with the layout of the building. They navigated the corridors with an eerie confidence, as if they had been there before, their steps echoing in the empty hallways. Missy arrived at the church around 3:50 a.m., ready to set up for her 5 a.m. class. She parked her car in the dark lot and walked towards the building, unaware of the danger lurking inside. Her mind was likely focused on the class ahead, the exercises she would lead, and the people she would inspire. Minutes later, the unthinkable happened. As the clock struck 4 a.m., an ominous shadow approached the door. The tranquility of the early morning was shattered by an act of unimaginable violence. Missy was brutally murdered, her life taken in a place meant for peace and reflection. The church, once a sanctuary, became a crime scene, its sacred halls now marked by tragedy. The community was left in shock, grappling with the loss of a cherished member and the horror of the crime that had unfolded in their midst. The brutality of Missy's murder and the bizarre appearance of the suspect sent shockwaves through the small town of Midlothian. The community, known for its tight-knit bonds and peaceful atmosphere, was suddenly thrust into a whirlwind of fear and speculation. The crime scene, a local church where Missy was preparing for an early morning fitness class, became the epicenter of a mystery that would baffle investigators and residents alike. Who would commit such a heinous act? And why? These questions haunted the minds of everyone in Midlothian. The suspect, captured on surveillance footage, wore tactical gear and moved with an eerie calmness, as if they had meticulously planned every step. The footage, though grainy and unclear, provided a chilling glimpse into the moments leading up to Missy's death. Theories began to swirl like dust devils in the Texas heat. Some residents believed it was a random act of violence, a terrifying anomaly in their otherwise safe town. Others were convinced that the killer had a personal vendetta against Missy, driven by jealousy or revenge. Theories ranged from the plausible to the outlandish, each one adding another layer to the already complex case. Some speculated that Missy was the victim of a targeted attack, perhaps by someone with a personal vendetta. Her role as a fitness instructor had put her in the public eye, and she had a significant following on social media. Could someone have harbored a grudge against her success or her personal life? The idea of a targeted attack seemed plausible to many, especially given the brutality of the crime. Others pointed to the suspect's tactical gear, suggesting a possible connection to law enforcement or military training. The precision and confidence with which the suspect moved indicated a level of training that was not typical of an average person. This theory opened up a new avenue of investigation, as detectives began to look into individuals with such backgrounds who might have had a motive to harm Missy. The suspect's strange limp added another layer of mystery. Was it a deliberate attempt to throw off investigators, or did it point to a specific individual with a known injury? The limp became a focal point in the investigation, with authorities hoping it would lead them to the killer. They analyzed the footage repeatedly, looking for any clues that could help identify the suspect. Was it a deliberate attempt at disguise, or an injury that could help identify the killer? The suspect's attire and movements were scrutinized by experts who debated whether the limp was genuine or a ruse. The possibility of a disguise added another layer of complexity to the case, making it even more challenging for investigators to narrow down their list of suspects. Despite numerous leads and persons of interest investigated, no arrests have been made in Missy's case. The investigation remains open, with detectives continuing to follow up on new tips and re-examine old evidence. The community of Midlothian remains hopeful that one day the truth will come to light and justice will be served for Missy Bevers. More than 7 years have passed since Missy Bevers was taken from her loved ones. The pain of her loss remains etched on the faces of her family, a constant reminder of the unanswered questions that haunt them. Missy's husband, Brandon Bevers, has been unwavering in his pursuit of justice for his wife. He, along with law enforcement, continues to appeal to the public for any information that might help crack the case. The smallest detail, the slightest memory, could be the missing piece of the puzzle. The Bevers family clings to the hope that someone, somewhere, holds the key to unlocking the truth behind Missy's murder. 500 miles away, in a quiet Houston suburb, another tragedy was about to unfold. On January 25, 2019, Elizabeth Barraza, a loving wife and mother, was preparing for her day. Little did she know that her life was about to be cut tragically short. As Elizabeth stepped outside her home, a dark-colored SUV pulled up. A figure emerged from the vehicle and approached her. What seemed like a mundane encounter took a sinister turn. The figure pulled out a gun and shot Elizabeth multiple times in the head. The killer then calmly walked back to the SUV and drove away, leaving Elizabeth lying lifeless on her own doorstep.